Hi, Wayn-Yo. That's W-A-Y-N apostrophe capital Y-O-Yo. Wayn-Yo. All People's Complaint Desk saying hello. And puppies. We all like puppies. They're a lot of fun. And when a puppy's treated nicely and he grows up, I say he because I have a male puppy. They become very close and loyal friends. But there's a reality to having a puppy that we have to discuss. We have to talk about the realities of puppies. And if you're a septuagenarian, and say someone says, oh, gee, why don't you get a puppy? Like perhaps maybe your spouse passed away, God forbid, or you don't have anything to do and you're really right. And someone says, well, why don't you get a dog? Right? And they say, why don't you get a puppy? Because with a puppy, you're going to be required physically to do a lot of moving around. You're going to be required mentally to have the patience of a saint. Literally, you have to have the patience of a saint, right? And you're going to do all that stuff, and it's good for you. So go ahead, have a puppy, and then when you're done, you got this loyal friend forever. All right? But what's the realities of having a puppy? Yes. Do those things happen? Yes, those things happen. But you know what else happens? All right, puppies. First things coming up with a puppy, physical and mental. It's a physical and mental challenge. Physically, you're going to be bending over an awful lot. If the puppy's a small puppy, let's say 5, 8, 10, 15, 17 pounds, you're going to be bending over an awful lot to grab the puppy and move the puppy from one place to another. Or to grab the puppy and carry it so that it won't go crazy when someone comes in the door. Can you bend over and pick up a 17-pound weight and hold it in your left arm for about 10 minutes? Can you? Can you do that a dozen times in an hour or two? Because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be picking up that puppy for about a dozen times an hour, even if it's just to move it from here to there, as opposed to lift it up, stick it in this arm, carry it around for a minute, and let it down after a while. You're going to have to be doing that an awful lot. How's your back? Can you bend over with no problems? If you can't, you want to think twice about getting a puppy. Now, my puppy, if you really want to have a life to enjoy on your next one, you reincarnate as my puppy, because you will be treated like a pampered prince, unless you're female. Then my wife will treat you like a princess. Now, my doggy is a pampered prince because of several reasons. One reason is I take him for at least 3 walks a day. Now, each walk, I walk around a perimeter of the property, so it's about 0.8 of a mile. And I'm going to do that 3 times a day. It doesn't matter what the weather is. If it's raining, I'm going to do that. And so I do it at least 3 times. And sometimes he gets 3 or 4 times. And then sometimes he'll get 3, but we don't just go around once. We'll go down a couple of these private roads and then come back again and do it again. So we'll be out there walking around for a half an hour or more because, geez, I need to clear my head and so I can think of these things and get ready to produce them, and that takes a walk around with the dog, clear my mind, and boom, all right? Are you mobile to where you can walk and do a lot of walking? That's the physical aspect, because you're gonna have to walk the puppy. Do you have a yard in the back that is encased with a cage? With a cage. Do you have a fenced yard? You'll need a cage too. It's called a kennel nowadays. It's stick the puppy in the kennel when it wants to run out the door. So you just throw it in the kennel. Don't worry about him running out the door. Got it? But do you have a fenced yard? If you don't have a fenced yard, you're definitely going to be walking the puppy. If you have a fenced yard, you're going to be letting the puppy out, but you might want to stay out there with the puppy. Can you stay outside in inclement weather without any problem? If you don't have a fenced yard, you might really want to think about getting a puppy. Think twice, because you really need a fenced yard with a puppy. The puppy needs some space to claim as their own, and it needs a lot of exercise and mental challenges. Now, the playing with the puppy is fun, but my puppy and I play hall ball, which is basically a sport like playing catch, throwing the ball with your son. There's a hall, it's got a closet at the end, so there's a hard door. I throw the ball down the hall, it hits the door and it bounces on the floor and the dog catches it. Or it bounces, hits the floor, hits the door, bounces up in the air, the dog catches it. If I get the ball, if the ball returns to me, I get the point. If the dog gets it before it returns to me, when he usually catches it on a fly, then it's his point. I usually get 1 point for every 5 points that the dog gets because nothing gets through my dog. Nothing. He is that good of a grounder in a hall, of an infield base player. He's hot. He takes hot grounders like nothing. Flies, boom, just under there, grab the ball. All right, so you're going to be playing hard with your dog. I'm sitting there doing that, and it's like my fitness tracker registers it as I'm playing sport like a baseball game. Because really, I'm sitting there pitching, throwing, grab the ball, throw, and I'm throwing it. I'm not tossing the ball. I'm throwing the ball hard to get it into the strike zone so that it bounces back fast enough so that he can't catch it. But you know what? He gets it anyway. For every one that I get the point where the ball makes it back to me, he gets 5 points. Where he gets the ball, where I throw the ball, it bounces around, he catches it. Okay? Hard play. Can you play with your dog, your puppy, extra hard? Do you have the physical capacity to do that? Because you have to with the puppy. The puppy needs to be played with. If not, if the puppy doesn't get play and exercise and mental challenges, the puppy is going to rebel. He's going to be sitting around being bored and he's going to do an awful lot of things. That's when your $200 pair of shoes gets ripped up. That's when all this other stuff gets peed on and you name it. And it's not a very good thing for the puppy to do early in life because then it sets a habit. And you don't want to set that puppy up in a habit like he can eat your shoes. You want to make sure the puppy plays to exhaustion. Now, how is it that I can do all of this stuff with my puppy and I'm a septuagenarian? Well, it's simple. And you may even be saying there, how come, well, if you can do it, why can't I do it? And that again is simple. First, off. All right. If you were a septuagenarian and you were a certified and insured personal fitness trainer, then you ought to be able to handle the puppy like he's a client, because I was, not anymore, a certified insured personal fitness trainer. I exercise like a fitness trainer. That means I do, some significant, sophisticated exercise routines that end up burning about 650 calories an hour. And if you know what your burning calories are like, they scream, ah! Well, I scream too, because 650 calories an hour, you're kicking butt. Yep. I can do that a few times a week. And then put in a day or two moving lumber or logs or whatever. I'm very physically fit. Are you? Because me taking that dog for a walk, for 3 walks, 4 walks, it's nothing, because I'm going to end up walking about 5 times that. You understand? I am in top physical shape for someone my age. I can do all of that the puppy requires and needs from a exertion, exercise, play, because I have all the strength, endurance, and flexibility that I need to satisfy the puppy. Do you? Are you exercising regularly? Do you maintain an active life? If you do, puppies go nicely. If you don't, you want to think twice about a puppy. Mentally, my puppy taught me something, 70 years old, and I finally learned to have the patience of a saint. That's right, because you love your puppy's going to do an awful lot of things that you're not going to want the puppy to do, and it's all perfectly natural for the puppy to do that. You can't get angry with the puppy or lose your patience, because why? Puppies do that, whatever the puppies are doing. So you teach the puppy not to do that. or show the puppy a different way, or, you know, they don't make a big deal out of it, and the puppy doesn't worry too much about it. And hey, it's just a little episode. Let's see if we can help that behavior along somehow. But you have to have patience of a saint with a puppy, because if you don't, you're going to be challenged. All right? So, do you want a puppy? You're a septuagenarian. Should you get a puppy? Are you physically fit and active? Can you get around? Really around, and with extra to spare, because that puppy is an extra that you're going to have to put all your extra energy into. Do you have a fenced yard so the puppy can run around and play and claim some property of their own? Do you have places to walk the puppy? You must walk the puppy. You remember, you're guiding the puppy for their existence and character and personality for the rest of the puppy's life. If you can, think about a puppy. If you can't, if there's one no, then no. Think twice about a puppy. Are you patient like a saint? And if you're not, can you learn to be patient as a saint? If not, you really probably don't want a puppy, because you're really going to be challenged. If so, then you might consider a puppy. But if you got one no anywhere, don't think of a puppy. All right. Now, if you go and hit notify, that's the bell on this thing, and hit subscribe, you'll get the next video, or notice of the next video that comes out, which will be what to do instead of a puppy. You want a dog? You want something? Here, try this instead of a puppy. All right? That's how YouTube works. So if you could, please hit subscribe and like and all that other stuff. And all right, but hopefully you got something out of this. And you know somebody who's thinking of getting a puppy and they're old? Please send them this first. It's necessary to do a real live assessment against yourself to see if you can handle a puppy, because if not, you know, the first problem you're going to have is the puppy's going to not have its optimal environment. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to torture a puppy into whatever. And don't forget, when you're 70, you got a puppy with a 15-year lifespan. You need to think of that also, but that's another topic. All right, that's it. Wayn-Yo from the Old People's Complaint Desk, talking about puppies, and that's it for now. I will see you later. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good week. Hi, this is Wayn-Yo with a disclaimer. The information that I'm providing is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment, nor as a substitute for professional mental health care or a substitute for accounting and tax preparation. These stories are my experiences. Go and have your experiences, and may they be guided by competent professional help. And I give public notice that all names are fictitious composites and I'm representing no one person, alive or otherwise. My intent here, as in all cases, is not to malign anyone or anything. Thank you.